said this place couldn't break you.
The monsters living in the nearby woods choose to let all the townspeople's animals free in the From Season 3 opener, which begs viewers to question why, precisely, the murderous creatures would do so. The program's monsters have historically been dishonest and devious. Still, the sharp-clawed lurkers have hardly been so direct in their attempts to tamper with Boyd, Harold Perrineau, and the rest of From's ensemble. Though they are more likely to wait for the perfect opportunity to strike, the monsters always yearn to be admitted into the talisman-protected buildings of the village. From Season 3, Episode 1 ends with a startling death, mostly due to the daring, fresh activities of the monsters. After opening the goat and sheep enclosure and guiding the cows out of the barn, the monsters disappear into the shadows. Boyd, talking with Jade, David Alpy, at the sheriff's station, eventually spots the cows straying down the main street of the town. Boyd runs into the street to guide the township's livestock towards safety, since their lives depend on it. Jade, Victor, Scott McCard, and Tianchen, Elizabeth Moy, all nearly instantly place their lives online. The monsters freed the animals to compel the people living in the town outside. Simply put, the monsters release the animals from their prisons to entice the residents outside following sundown. The fact that there is hardly any food left is among the most terrible and disturbing disclosures from Season 3. Following a storm that damages most of Donna's, Elizabeth Saunders, and Colony House's crops, a party heads to collect what remains. Tragically, the last of the vegetables are all rotting. Donna goes so far as to term the dirt poisoned, telling Boyd something is off with it. Townspeople raid Tianchen's residence for the last provisions as the township runs nearly empty on food. The creatures seem to be aware of the terrible situation the town residents find themselves in. Boyd, Donna, and Tianchen discuss the town's prospects for survival now that they are primarily dependent on the animals, while the monsters devise their own plan. The critters slink into town, freeing the cows, goats, and sheep from their enclosures just as it turns dark. The monsters realize that allowing the animals to roam the streets is the best approach to entice Boyd and others, especially from talisman-protected homes, into leaving their houses. By now, the town's survival is dependent on the welfare of the animals. The monsters needed to show they could break him. Boyd trapped. The decision to free the animals is motivated by the monsters' warped ulterior goal. Following the conclusion of From Season 2, in which Boyd essentially dared the creatures, and the mysterious powers above the township, to try and break him, the monsters' will to do so has never been stronger. The monsters, driven to challenge Boyd to his limits, exacerbate the food situation. They also entice Victor, Tianchen, and Jade into the streets, which drives overprotective Boyd into a frenzy. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of the episode is its final moments. Boyd and Tianchen lead the surviving cow into the township bar, while Jade and Victor bring the goats and lambs inside. Boyd discovers the barn's trap when he closes the doors and places the talisman inside. A number of the beasts lingered in the shadows. Rather than executing Boyd, they tie him up and order the sheriff to observe their torturing and killing Tianchen. The monsters from Season 3 aim to break Boyd in a very aggressive and direct manner.